All right, Women of Grounded, I am so excited. We are here today with Miss Anna Woods, life coach and advanced grief recovery specialist. Hi, Miss Anna. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. A. I am doing fantastic. I am so excited to be with the Women of Grounded today and to sit in your presence. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little about you and your journey to becoming a life coach and an advanced grief recovery specialist?
Of course I can. And it's funny you use that word journey because that's exactly what it's been. I am a retired mother, wife, grandmother of two. I worked 30 plus years in corporate America for two different organizations. And I have really coached and mentored folks all of my life as a part of my career because that's what leadership is. And so I lost my mother in 2016. And since that time, my father has also passed away. And when I lost my mother, it really rocked the foundation of who I was. And I really needed to understand the emotions that I was feeling at that time.
First and foremost, Miss Anna, my condolences for the loss of your parents. It is amazing that you've been able to turn that tragedy into something that is going to benefit so many people. I know for myself, I have often associated grief with losing a loved one. However, what are some other scenarios that would also apply to grieving?
Sure, I can share that with you. First, I want to say that as we look at the experience of grief, I want to share that grief is a natural and normal response to loss. And so as we look at grief as a natural and normal response to loss, then as we think about some of the losses that have happened in our lives, and I'll use my own life, for example, I have been divorced. I've had a miscarriage. I've lost jobs. I've retired. My children have gone off to college, and the loss of my parents that I talked about earlier. And so the former things that I just mentioned, they're all grieving experience because they are normal and natural occurrence as we live life. So grief is also the conflict and feelings caused by a familiar change of pattern of behavior. So for instance, if my mother would call me once a week and all of a sudden my mother no longer calls me because she is deceased, then that triggers grief-like experiences. My daughters, when they left home and went off to college, the emotions that I felt around their departure were grief-like emotions. In fact, there's more than 40 life experiences that can trigger grief-like emotions that we don't identify as grief. And I think it's really important that we begin to talk about those experiences. So thank you for that question. That was a great question.
Do you have any suggestions for how a person dealing with grief can move through the holidays?
Actually, I do. I would love to share some of the things that I've actually done myself over time as I've grown through my own personal grief. And so the first suggestion I would give you is to make a plan, right? If you don't want to celebrate the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, special times, that's really your choice, but don't isolate. You know, have someone that you can call, have someone that you can connect to on those special days. And so don't isolate, make a plan for the holidays. We know they're coming. And so that would be my first suggestion.
Good point.
My second suggestion would just be truthful about how you feel, right? It's critical. It's just crucial that we share in how we truly feel. And so as we share in how important it is to be truthful about how you feel, just say, I'm really feeling sad today. And it's okay, you know, to be able to express those feelings. Feelings are always better out than in. And I tell people that all the time. Up and out is so much better than down and in. Down and in hurts us. Up and out will benefit you in the long run. The third one is take some time and decide which traditions that you will carry on and which traditions you will not carry on from your family. And so even in our family, we would always go home for the holidays. Well, neither one of my parents, as I mentioned earlier, they're both deceased. And so we will gather in a different home, one of our other siblings' home, and most of us will come together. We'll have some traditional foods that we'll partake in, but we'll have some non-traditional foods. So our holidays have really changed in how even the food that comes to the table on the holiday. We're going to honor my mother with the best cornbread stuffing you can ever imagine.
Gotta do that. Gotta do that.
We all feel that way. And so there's always a sibling that can duplicate some of Mama's recipes. She taught us all how to cook. Actually, my oldest daughter does the best. Of course, we all say that. And then I'm sure we'll have some type of greens on the table for the day, but we'll have some non-traditional stuff to partake in on the dinner table for Thanksgiving. So change the tradition, create, honor them with the things that you choose to, and then change the tradition that fits your life or where you are. And this one's kind of tough, especially on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but try to avoid overeating or over drinking, right?
That's difficult.
That can be difficult. But when we're grieving, these overeating and over drinking, they really don't help us. They may make us feel different, but they don't make us feel any better. So overeating and over drinking really should be something that you want to avoid. It can also add sadness, to your day. Just address the sadness. Again, be honest about how you feel. And really, this one does not. This one may not sound significant, but I also want to add, for those who are grieving, that time does not heal. It just doesn't. It's what you do in the time that brings about recovery. So keep that in mind as you go through the holidays. The suggestions that work for you, use them. Pick and choose, but don't isolate, right? Don't overeat, don't overdrink. Take some time to decide what traditions that you will carry on and what traditions that you will let go. Be truthful about your feelings. So those are my suggestions for moving through the holidays as we grieve.
Amen. I think those are all really helpful points. And I know for myself, I'm guilty of it. And I'm sure a lot of women can identify with this. The old familiar, hey, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm fine. It's a typical response.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, right? So I as a part of the educational classes that I facilitate, we talk about this I'm fine with air quotes. And so what I have to say is that what I'm fine really means is feelings inside, not expressed. I'm fine. So if someone's grieving and the automatic response is I'm fine, I often think feelings inside, not expressed. I'm fine.
Wow. I'm fine.
So let's be truthful. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Well,
Yep.
Miss Anna, can you tell us about any upcoming events that you have?
Absolutely. I'll be right back here with Grounded in December. We're going to have a tea time chat around this very same topic and with some additional information that would be useful for you to go forward. Also, in the month of January, I will do an introduction to the grief recovery method educational course that I teach or that I facilitate, I should say, because the class is a teacher. And that conversation will benefit one body. There'll be a small fee for that particular conversation, but it will benefit one body, the nonprofit, a local nonprofit here that helps children. And then in February, I'll come back with an online virtual grief recovery method class. That's an 8-week class. So I've not decided exactly what date that is, but that will be coming, and it's a virtual 8-week class. So thank you for asking. Lots going on.
Lots going
these next
on.
4 months.
Well, all the details, Miss Anna, we'll have everything there. And if you or someone you know is dealing with grief, please don't suffer in silence. Please reach out. You can reach out to Miss Anna. Her website information is down on the bottom. And Miss Anna, we just want to thank you for joining us today and pouring into the Women of Grounded. We have this coffee mug, and as an affiliate of Grounded, we have this special bag for you to put all your coaching goods and everything in. And we just want to thank you once again for sharing with us, and look forward to just how God is moving in your life and what you're doing to help so many people on a topic that often goes undiscussed. So thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. A. Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure.